Ow! What the zog? Oh, it's from the air squigs. Wow! Welcome back to the room. Let's go fast. Old Big Mek here. That's right. We got a special delivery from the airmail squigs. It's from a death skull. We should see what's inside. And of course, to open a box, you need your biggest knife. Alright, so what exactly do we have here? This is a legit box from a legit, I'm assuming a death skull, Leova, who is one of our members over on our Discord server, which is a really awesome community. You should check it out, link down in the description below, completely free, has challenged Old Big Mek. You see, I have a very famous video called Every Kit is an ORK Kit, linked up there, where the folks over at Mindsecret Miniatures issued a challenge to me to make any kit an ORK kit, and then provided a kit that I had no idea what it was, and I proceeded to do it. And that would be the Def Copta right there, which is the Chinork War Copta made out of the Drukhari Dark Eldar Raider thing. And that was a ton of fun. Well, anyways, Leova got with me and said, hey, I got not one, but two challenges for you, Old Big Mek. Are you up to it? And of course, being an orc, I said, of course! So, let's see what's in this. I did, finish cutting it, but I haven't opened it up to look inside. There you go. So, Old Big Mek, enjoy and good luck. Wah! From Leova. Let's see what the next 2 episodes of Every Kit is an ORK Kit is going to be. So, okay, we got a little one and a big one. I'm assuming... Okay, again, Leova said one was easy and one was hard. I'm assuming the little one is the hard one. So let's look at that one first. Okay, we got just a sprue. Oh, it's a Nid. It's Tyranid. I think that's the new... it's not a hive tyrant, but something like that. The fly tyrant, the parasite of Mortrex or something like that. Okay, that is genuinely going to be difficult. We have to turn this flying squig Tyranid thing into an ORK kit and have it look orky and also, be identifiable with what it is. Okay, that is really interesting, really difficult. I was really afraid that one of them was going to be something like this, because anything mechanical, you can pretty much work with. You just put a bunch of mechanical things on it, and it becomes pretty orky. But anything that is bioform only gets difficult. But I got some ideas. All right, let's see what the big thing is. All right, box is empty. Wear his hat. And we've got ourselves... Oh, hey! It's some more Drukhari of Venom. Ooh. That is interesting. I think that there's actually a lot we could do with this. These are a really good size. I haven't played with any of the newer style ones. Eldari has a version of this as well. I forget what its name is. But these are a really interesting size. They're bigger than like a jet bike, but they are smaller than any of the like regular vehicles. So definitely, like you're not going to make a truck out of this, or a Chinork or anything like that. But it's too big to be like a Def Copta by itself. So yeah, very, very interesting what we could do with this. It would be really small. As a DACA jet, you could probably like really bulk it out, but okay, we're gonna have some fun with this. So we'll pop this open and take some measurements and stuff like that and start figuring out what to turn this into. This is definitely the easy one. This one is hard, but I got some ideas. Stay tuned. All right, so I've been thinking about it, and I think we're actually gonna go hard mode first for 2 reasons. One is the easy mode kit that was provided was another Drukhari flyer, and that's what our first episode was, and I don't want Every Kit is an ORK Kit to turn into Every Drukhari Kit is an ORK Kit. So we're gonna stash that one for later. But also, I am an orc and I do love a challenge, and this was honestly my biggest fear. A totally organic kit is really, really difficult to orcify. Any kind of vehicle is pretty easy to loot. Any kind of armored thing or robot is very, very easy, but something that is just entirely a bug is very difficult. So Step one, let's put this thing together and see what size it is and what it is, and then we'll go from there. All right, we are over here at the workbench to clip this thing apart and see what it is. It's from 2023, and I believe this is from Leviathan, because if you look, this is actually a push fit model, which is what a lot of those were. So we'll get it built, and then we'll figure out what it is and what size it is. I do want to say, while we're here using our Tamiya Extra Thin, that during this filming, Mr. Tamiya himself, the man who founded the company and ran it forever, just passed away at the age of 90. So pour one out of your extra thin cement for Mr. Tamiya. All right, to the model here. Let's see what we are doing with this. No instructions or anything, but these are labeled. There's number 2. Number 6, number 3, etc. So we'll find number 1 and start with it, which looks like the main body right here. Now, luckily, since this thing is push fit, what we can do is actually assemble it and then figure out what we're doing with it, and then take it apart before we actually put it together. All right, so it looks like what we've got here is a main body with a spine thing, and then you get 2 halves of the actual carapace and chest. I'm guessing number 3. Oh, number 3 is going to be an arm. Or a head. A head. All right, well, I guess we'll put the head on. We'll follow the instructions a little bit, I guess. All right, and this is what we end up with. It is some sort of big, scary monster thingy with wings that are folded up. There are pinning things here in the arms to kind of hold them a certain way, but totally don't have to use those. And in fact, it looks like the pins for the arms are pseudo interchangeable, so I should be able to put the wings up there and the little arms down here if I really want to. If that might make it work better or look better. That pin's a little big, but yeah. Anyways, super easy to kind of tweak the stance a little bit. But yeah, this is what we've got. He's not that big, is kind of the problem. All right, here's what I mean by he's not that big. So this is a boy with rocket launcher. This is one of the new Monopose boys, and you can see, I mean, he is bigger than that, but he's not that chunky. The wings kind of take up a lot of space, but the actual body itself is kind of boy size. You just have these long limbs that he's standing on. So yeah, kind of can't really do anything with that. Obviously with the wings, you think, well, flying things, you can turn them into a Defcopter. This is a Defcopter. This is the really old one from Assault on Blackreach, and you see he is sort of pseudo the right size for a Defcopter, maybe? Okay, we got potential there. Defcopter is a potential. Maybe have a grot riding him as a Defcopter. My thing, of course, would be to turn him into some sort of a Beastnagga thing, because, you know, he got picked up. They don't have anything that flies, but, you know, he doesn't necessarily have to fly. This is a Squighog boy. You know, again, you would have something riding him. And, again, we don't have to use these. We could leave these off, right? And then you've got just this kind of dinosaur-looking dude. He's a bit tall. He's a bit spindly. But, yeah, I think we could orc him up with an orc rider. He should fit on one of those bases pretty nice. And yeah, so that is also an option. He's way too small to be even like the knob on Smash's squig is way beefier than him. So yeah, you're not going to get a knob on this guy. He's going to be a regular Squighog boy, if anything. The other thing I thought of is with the wings, the only other real flying unit that orcs have anymore these days is, of course, Storm Boys. Boss Zagstruck is sadly off to Legends. We don't have like a generic war boss with jump pack or anything like that, but we do have Storm Boys. He is surprisingly Storm Boy sized. So the idea here would be use him as like a Storm Boy knob. You'd put an orc here on the back riding him, kind of like he got picked up by the orc. He would be quite a bit bigger than the Storm Boy knob, though.
These wings take up a lot of real estate. He's quite a bit taller even on his own, and then you bulk him out with a whole other orc on his back, or maybe even a grot. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm thinking the ones I'm most excited about would be the Squig Hog Boy, you know, and having a whole squad of these guys riding different creatures from different Warhammer universes would be pretty cool. But with the wings and the fact that he is fairly Def Coptery sized, gives me an option there as well. Okay, so update time. I have actually glued together this guy, who I have since learned is a Tyranid Prime. And I was correct from the Leviathan box. He's some sort of an HQ level character, just to get a better feel for his size, with the wings in the right spot and all that. I had considered leaving the wings off, but that doesn't do the model or the conversion justice, right? The whole point is you're supposed to be able to still identify what the base model is, and a winged prime without wings, well, isn't a winged prime. So again, looking at things that fly, here is our Def Copta. They do have a pretty similar like sizing and space that they take up. The problem I have is from the top, the Def Copta just has more going on with the rotor and stuff like that. But also, this is a vehicle, and even though it doesn't have, you know, armor facings like the days of old, it's still a vehicle. It's got armor plating on it. It's got bigger wounds and stuff. I don't think it's very fair to try to take this as a stat line, right, and make it that. Well, it could be a cool conversion and maybe neat looking on the battlefield. I still want this to be a playable piece. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this every kit as an orc kit, is not only are you actually going to use it as an orc unit, but that your opponent is going to be able to tell what it is. So once again, I came looking to the Squig Hog Boys, and he is quite a bit larger than a Squig Hog Boy in a lot of dimensions. The problem is he's just too spindly. So even if we do move to the knob on Smash a Squig, which fills out that profile a lot more, especially, you know, from the side and the top, what you've got then is I need to get an orc on top of this guy to go make it work. And I don't really have any orcs that work on it because, again, this body is just so small compared to your typical orc, even just an old school badonkadonk booty, right? What I do have is this little grot here, who is the rider for something. This is from like Old World or AOS or something like that. But yeah, he's this little grot rider that rides on the back of something. You know, and he'd be perfect for being a saddle get on, you know, a Squig Hog Boy thing. But again, I don't really have an orc to ride on this thing and make it work. And I don't want to stick an orc head on here. I did think about that a little bit, but that is very un-orky. Even the maddest of Mad Doc isn't going to attach an orc to something else's body. That would just go against everything Gork and Work stand for. And it, you know, would quickly be put out of its misery. So that is definitely not going to happen. No crazy body horror. So my idea is I'm going to have the grot riding on the back of the Tyranid. We'll have the Tyranid's head on there and have him all roped up or whatnot, and under the control of the crazed grot, and kind of doing sort of a grot Beastnaga almost, that he got himself a Tyranid and he is controlling it to do something, which again makes me think about this, makes me think about being a Storm Boy. But again, he is just so much bigger than a Storm Boy, especially from this upper dimension having the wings coming out like that. But yeah, so I'm just torn. Do I stick with the wings and make it a Storm Boy so it can fly across the battlefield, or do I stick with the size and make it a Squig Hog Boy that's kind of grounded a little bit? All right, after many days and much deliberations, I think I've finally come up with the plan for this thing, and that is definitely going to be this guy, knob on Smash a Squig. I'm going to show you. Really, it comes down to footprint. Basically, the Squig Hog Boy here is just so much smaller than this thing, that it doesn't work out. And I don't want to just do a flying thing out of it. I really want to dive into this Beast-Naga aesthetic. So again, Squig Hog Boy is out. Knob on Smash the Squig very much has a similar profile. So once I actually lob an orc on top of this thing like so, it's going to line up very, very nicely indeed. And I do have some great orcs for this. So I've got this black orc here with the double hand action going on here. Took the old axe off and got ourselves the proper Beast-Naga tool, because all Beast-Nagas use power saws, a la Khorne, blood for the blood god guys. I got some exhaust pipes and stuff to modify them. I've got this spare squig leg here that is mechanical. I think what I'm going to do is actually snip off this leg right here and replace the bottom half of it with this, because again, all Beast-Naga stuff has cyborg things in it. See this whole guy's leg right there. And yeah, and then we're just generally going to dress them up. Again, we've got like a Necron spine here and things like that, and see what we could do to really sell this as a knob on Smash a Squig. Alright, I gotta admit, I really love this. It helps sells that Beast-Naga aesthetic, and also that this poor little Tyranid was captured by some orcs and cut up and hacked into and is now being used for their purposes. Yeah, that turned out really nice. Another important bit to show that he's being controlled by the orcs is like all sorts of little lines or tubes or ropes or things tying into him to show the control. So here we've got some sort of rope with teeth on it, or maybe a wire that's implanted directly into his brain, and it really works with this casting, with the way the head is turning like that. It really shows he's being yanked around and controlled by the orcs that are riding him. Alright, some updates. So first of all, you can see he is on a base. Now, I did do a little bit of cheating, and I made him lean forward more so that this claw was touching the ground. The golden rule of any kind of conversion craziness like this is you want at least 3 points of contact between the model and the base, or else it's not going to stay together. So we've got that on there. And then check out our little grot rider. Isn't he perfect? So I ended up trimming out the horn area here to give him a little seat, and I got his little hand there glued next to the control rod or thing for the Tyranid. I've got the grot looking in a similar direction and whatnot, and he's being very threatening. So he thinks he's in control, he thinks he's riding, but of course really this guy is responding to the great big mean orc that is on the back. And what I've come up with here is this old random part. I believe this is from Fantasy, back, what's now called Old World. But anyways, it's just going to sit on there like that. It doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to work. And then our Beast-Naga boy here, who is all done, is ready to go on it. So obviously you see I did put on the Beast-Naga weapon. I did a Beast-Naga face, and then I went ahead and put a actual jaw on him instead of an iron gob, because this particular guy is very beefy with the armor, and he needed some of that, animal aesthetic to go with him. I also have the little shaka pistol here to go on his side. I cut off his little knife, so that will go on there. But he's basically just going to ride on top of that thing. Bam, kind of like so. And then we're going to have ourselves a knob on Smash a Squig. And boom, knob on Smash a Squig. Look at how nice this is. We've got a very similar level to the axe up here. We've got a similar kind of bulkiness to the middle. This one's a little bit wider, which of course is fine. Bigger is okay. You don't want smaller. You don't want to be modeling for advantage. But again, a side profile there. Very, very similar. We got a bunch of bulk here in the middle for the Squiggy. We've got our rider. We've got our grot. We've got the right weapon. We've got the right pistol. All the right pieces on there. He is looking mighty cool. So I think we might have a success here. Alright, I'm winding down this one, and like most conversions, the little greeblies really sell the final product. So between your major things like the mechanical leg and having the grot rider controlling it and the knob and whatnot, you really got to have these extra little pieces. So I've got this little leather piece here with the bones on it to help Beast-Naga this guy up. Again, because this particular one was so armored. And then I've got the boss pole here on the back, because you see the The regular one has a boss pull as well, as all knobs should. It also helps explain why he could like kind of stand there. He can lean on the boss pull. It also goes really nicely into this piece already that has like this anchor there for it. So that was really nice. And the last thing I got here is I noticed the skull of this guy's got this really lovely round piece in it here. And I thought, what could I do with that hole? And then it hit me. Literally shove a stick bomb through it. Again, we're trying to explain why a Tyranid would even listen to orcs at all, let alone actively fight potentially against its own. Well, having a stick bomb shoved through your brain seems like a reason that it would happen. Plus, it's just the right amount of cheeky fun for an orc. So yeah, there is our finished conversion.
And just like that, we have successfully transformed yet another kit into an orc kit. So yeah, we took our Tyranid Winged Prime here, a very, very hard kit to orcify because it is entirely organic and kind of spindly and not very orky, and turned it into something that, again, the whole goal here is if you put this out on the tabletop, your opponent immediately knows what it is. They are going to go, that is a knob on Smash a Squig, but also know exactly what the starting kit was. They're going to go, wow, did you turn a Tyranid Prime into a knob on Smash a Squig? That's exactly what we are going for here. So yeah, we've got the right size base, the right overall dimensions. We've got a very similar look to it and feel. And again, all the right pieces on here. We've got the knob, we've got the grot. Now I know there are no actual grots on the knob on Smash a Squig. Those are only on the Squig Boys. But you can't just have the knob riding on the back with nothing controlling this guy. So having this little snotling slash grot with that stick bomb through the skull is just so orky and so funny. But yeah, I think that this was a very successful conversion. I am excited to paint this up and add it to my orc army, especially, again, I've kind of got this whole new thing going with a little sub-faction that's going to be all death skulls that have stolen things, but getting the B-snags in on that as well seems really, really cool. So now I'm super pumped to try to do an entire squad of Squig Boys that don't have any squigs in them. So yeah, if you want to see that, definitely make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single upload, because we do crazy conversions like this all the time here on Dread Ones Go Faster. And well, if you're watching this when this video comes out, we're not very far away from October, where Old Big Mek here goes especially nutso and does a video every single day of the entire month. All right, that's going to do it for this one. I really appreciate you watching. If you like what you saw, definitely check out more videos. There'll be little links that pop up at the end here to show you the next one that would apply to you. And also, if you really, really liked what you saw and you wanted to support the channel, there's a number of ways to do it. Obviously, you could be a channel member here on YouTube or join us over on Patreon. We also have a merch store, which is called theredonesgofasta.com. And again, it is linked in the description below, where you can get really sweet stuff such as our Go Fasta tee here, designed by BenBam with a really awesome orc coming at you. Our hoodie version of this is full color, which is extra cool. We also have these in black with white silk screening, as well as our Red Squig merch, such as the hat. So yeah, definitely go check that out on the merch store, or go watch some more videos. I would super appreciate it, because everything you guys do to this channel to help it keep going and growing helps me pull off really fun conversions like this. Because, well, as you saw, there's like 4 model kits just in this thing, and y'all know how expensive Warhammer can be. But we do this for the fun, and yeah, every kit is definitely an orc kit. So I think challenge passed. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you have an orc kit that you think is even harder and you want to challenge Old Big Mek, hit me up down at the Discord below, and let's make this a regular thing, because yeah, I enjoy these challenges, and I think you guys do too. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, Wagon! do, do, do.